3 months ago, I got lost on a road that should have taken me home. I was driving through rural Pennsylvania after visiting a friend. The GPS lost signal, my phone died, and somewhere around midnight, I saw a town, a small town, streetlights glowing through the fog, people walking, stores still open. It looked completely normal until I tried finding it again, because according to every map, every satellite image, and every person I asked, that town has never existed. The night started like any other. I left my friend's house around 10 p.m. The drive home was supposed to take 2 hours. Nothing unusual. The roads were empty. The weather was clear. For the first hour, everything felt normal. Then my GPS froze. The screen stopped updating. My location disappeared. I remember tapping the screen several times. Nothing. A few minutes later, my phone battery died. I wasn't worried. There was only one road ahead, so I kept driving. About 20 minutes later, I noticed something strange. The road looked unfamiliar. The trees seemed denser. The highway signs had disappeared. No gas stations, no traffic, nothing. Just darkness. Then I saw lights in the distance. At first I thought it was a rest stop, but as I got closer, I realized it was an entire town. A welcome sign stood at the entrance. It simply read, "Welcome." No town name, no population count, nothing else. I remember laughing. Who builds a town sign without a name? I drove inside. The streets were clean. The buildings looked old, almost like they belonged in the 1950s, but everything was operating. A diner, a grocery store, a gas station. People were walking around, talking, smiling, living normal lives. Yet something felt wrong. Everyone seemed too calm, too quiet. Nobody looked surprised to see me. Nobody looked curious. It was like they had been expecting me. I stopped at the diner. The place was almost full. Families eating, waitresses moving between tables, coffee brewing. Everything looked ordinary. I sat down and ordered coffee. The waitress smiled. Then she asked, "You're passing through?" Something about the way she said it made me uncomfortable. I nodded. She looked at me for a second longer than normal. Then she replied, "Most people don't stay long." I laughed nervously. "What does that mean?" She didn't answer. Instead, she walked away. A few minutes later, I noticed something strange. Nobody in the diner had a phone. Not a single person. No smartphones, no laptops, no modern devices, nothing. Then I looked at the calendar hanging behind the counter. The date wasn't right. It showed October 17th, 1987. I immediately stood up. I told myself it was just a themed diner. Maybe the entire town had some retro gimmick. But when I stepped outside, things became worse. Every car parked on the street looked decades old. No modern models, no recent license plates, nothing. I walked toward the gas station. The prices displayed on the sign seemed impossible. The newspapers inside carried dates from the 1980s. And then I noticed something else. Nobody was looking at me anymore. They were all staring, every person, every face, watching silently, as if they knew something I didn't. That was the moment I decided to leave. I ran back to my car, started the engine, and drove toward the road I came from. The fog had grown thicker. The streetlights faded behind me. Soon the town disappeared completely. After about 15 minutes of driving, I found a highway, then another town, a real town. I stopped at a gas station. The clerk asked if I was okay. Apparently, I looked terrified. I asked him about the town. I described the streets, the diner, the sign, everything. His expression changed. Then he said, "I've lived here my whole life. There's no town out there. The next morning I searched online. Nothing. No records, no maps, no photographs, no mention of it anywhere. A week later, I drove back. I followed the exact same route, the same road, the same turns, the same time of night. But the town was gone, only forest, miles and miles of forest. Sometimes I convince myself I imagined it. Maybe I was tired, maybe I was lost, maybe my mind played tricks on me. But there's one thing I still can't explain. When I got home that night, I found a receipt in my jacket pocket from the diner, dated October 17th, 1987, and every few months, I receive a postcard with no return address, no message, no signature, just a photograph of that town, waiting.